You're absolutely doing right. You're on track. You're one of the DJs that I've seen who, is the best DJ in Bangalore.
I think that's very
Very
kind of
stylish. You really don't give a fuck to anything. You do exactly what you like doing. And that is the reason why I have you here today.
Thank you. It's
Right.
good to be here.
I thought you're that DJ who would only want to be playing your favorite genre, which used to be psychedelic when you started off.
To be a DJ, it is very important to know how music works. Once you're a musician, see, it's easy to become a DJ when you are already a music producer.
Is it really required for people to be doing a drug or be high on something to resist psychedelic music? Do you agree with that?
But drugs are illegal. So from the legality point of view, if you're caught with them, you're going to get arrested and you're going to be put in jail.
It looks like you've toned down a lot, as in you were not to be seen outside much. You're very choosy. Even when it comes to your gigs, you select your gigs. Why is that?
Yeah.
Is there a reason? Is it because your experience makes you take such decisions?
I miss the vibe of the 90s and the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, or even till the late 2000s. The vibe was terrific. You had spaces which were designed for music.
Any specific reason that you did not want to add a Bollywood track to your set?
Bangalore was very international. Everybody is beautifully dressed. The standards of the parties is so high. And the best part is, it is not about how much you can pay at the gate or
Any message to the club owners in Bangalore?
pay them on time, pay them properly, don't negotiate with them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Deeper Set Media's Sharing Stories Unscripted. Today we have a very special guest, DJ Anoop Absolute, also known as Ally. How are you, Anoop?
All good. Sunday,
Yeah.
you've treated me to some beer. It's all good.
Thank you for coming in today. And I know that
My
you're
pleasure.
missing the cricket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure that we are going to be winning today.
Hopefully.
Yep. Let's.
India's been performing well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't see why we will not.
Yeah.
win
I'm
it.
sure that we have all reasons to win today.
Absolutely.
Also, I have a reason for me to actually, introduce you, a veteran DJ of Bangalore, to most of the people who do not know you, especially.
Damn.
First thing,
There are people who don't know me?
yeah, a lot of people
So,
do not
wow.
know you.
Okay. Okay.
They do not know you, and
Awesome.
let me tell you this: I am your biggest fan. I also DJ.
Thank you, Dilip. I think I'm doing something right then.
You're absolutely doing right. You're on track. You're one of the DJs that I've seen who, is the best DJ in Bangalore.
I think that's very
Very
kind of you.
stylish. You really don't give a fuck to anything. You do exactly what you like doing, and that is the reason why I have you here today.
Thank you. It's
Right.
good to be here.
Thank you. So, Anoop, I would like to ask you this question straight. How did you start all of it? What made you come to Bangalore? I'm sure that you're not from Bangalore.
No, I'm not. So we were all children when we started out. We didn't really have a control of where we are going to be, right?
Yes.
Dad moved his base to Bangalore, and here we are.
Where are you from?
I am basically a Rajasthani
Okay.
from Medta, Jodhpur, but we were living in Chennai. Then it was called Madras.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Chennai is a recent development over the past decade and a half or so, or whatever, around that. I don't remember the exact time. Yeah, so we were there, and then Dad decided to move his business here while I was still in school. I think I joined Bangalore in my 8th grade,
That was in 1988.
88, 89, around then, I guess.
Okay. And I'm sure that you must have studied in Sindhi school because I was seeing your profile and then somewhere I saw this
No,
mentioned.
so I was studying in a Sindhi school in Chennai,
Okay.
and they have an affiliate school here as well. But because we were in a new city, and I had gotten my admission there, but my brothers were not. They didn't get a seat,
Okay.
so I studied at the Jain institutions, the first one. Now they're a big
Yes,
group
they
of
are.
institutions.
Yes, yes, yes.
But then they were very modest at that time. They were just starting out.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 brothers, younger to me.
Okay. Are they also into music?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, but they have a rhythm in them.
Is it in the blood by any
They
chance?
play the table, and then I know, okay, this guy's got the beat in him.
Was your father a musician or was he a fan of music?
He dabbled a little bit while he was in Calcutta. during his student days. He was studying at the university there.
Okay.
And I see his pictures with his friends,
Okay.
like a Bee Gees trio with proper bell-bottom suits, bell-bottom pants with guitars, like Bee Gees. Yeah,
Yeah, got it.
yeah.
Let us talk about the actual time when the clubbing industry started here in Bangalore. I really want you to speak your heart out and share your experience. How did it all start? Who inspired you? And all of it.
So I'll tell you what. I did not start out by becoming a DJ. I became a musician first. I realized that I could play the keyboards by my ear. I could listen to anything and just play it back without having had any formal education in music or anything. And then I don't know if it is the immaturity of that age. I was good at my studies, but then when music happened, it seemed to consume all of my time and mind. There was that time when I couldn't think about anything else. If I had to, uh, uh, I thought music was the only thing I wanted to do. It gave me a lot of sense of accomplishment, satisfaction to have made a tune, or simply if I could just play a tune that I heard. As much as people were surprised, like how can this guy play it without having learned to play it, I was surprised myself.
Was your family okay?
No, obviously not.
Because
Yeah.
this kind of a lifestyle, going home early in the
No, but
morning.
no, those days there was no lifestyle. I'm still not talking about my DJ journey. I'm still talking about my musician thing. The music, when I kind of realized that I could play back tunes on a synthesizer, and then I said, maybe I'm gifted. Maybe I need to do something about it. So it started off in a very small scale. I joined the prayer choir in my school. So every morning, though it was not a synthesizer, it was a harmonium, but it works on the same principle. You've got your black and white keys. You just need to blow in some air. And yeah, I was doing that on a daily basis.
Okay.
And from then on, that led to music competitions, uh, inter-school music competitions, or just assisting a singer or a band. And then I decided that I'll probably make my own band, write my own songs. Then that happened. Was performing as a live singer for a while. Over a period of time, I realized I'm not cut out for singing, but I'm a terrific music maker.
Okay.
And it's not easy to get breaks into films, and those days where the also times when indie pop was on the rise, indie rock and indie pop was on the rise.
Yes.
But it was not easy to get an album deal, go to Bombay, get a Magnus Sound or a BMG Crescendo or a Sony Music to sign you on. Though we cut demos, we went to Bombay regularly, went to every top music company at that point in time.
As in, did
And
you go to Mumbai because there was lack of opportunities in Bangalore?
record labels were not based out of Bangalore.
Okay.
If you're looking at the Hindi pop, indie pop scenario, they were all headquartered in Bombay.
Okay.
I think except for mm, uh, HMV, I think
Okay.
their manufacturing was in Calcutta, but they had a Bombay office. Their corporate office, I think, where the decisions are being made, was in Bombay.
Okay.
So you had to go to Bombay if you
Okay.
want to make it in music or movies at a pan India level.
Which is the first record label brand that you associated with?
Mm, wow. So before I went on to the national scene, I had done a lot of work for films here in Bangalore,
For Kannada films?
Kannada films
Oh,
and Kannada
nice.
non-film projects as well.
Okay.
So I worked with Madhu Bangarappa, who has Akash Audio.
Okay.
I worked with Jhankar, uh, a very promising producer, director of the record label, not of the movies, but a producer, Bharat Jain.
Okay.
He owns Jhankar. It's also called Mars Music. I did a lot of work with them. I
Okay.
think I might have done something for Larry as well. I don't remember. I think I've worked on almost 18 films in Canada,
Okay.
and out of which I don't think 5 or 6 of them even have seen the light of the day, because some of these movies, the producers run out of funds before they can
True.
get it to the editing desk and release them. Yeah.
True. Did you make remixes for them or was it the background music for the movie?
I've done background scores.
Okay.
I've done remixes also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I thought you're that DJ who would only want to be playing your favorite genre, which used to be psychedelic when you started off.
No, I became a DJ much after that. I
Really?
became a DJ after that because, uh, okay, so I was doing music. See, to be a DJ, it is very important to know how music works, how music flows. What are your scales? What is the tempo? You know, once you're a musician, see, it's easy to become a DJ when you are already a music producer. It is difficult the other way around. Just because you're a DJ doesn't make you a music producer.
Exactly. Let me
Yeah.
come to this point. I think people who produce music, they play better music than DJs, is what I believe. I could be wrong. What is
Oh
your.
no, that's probably just. I have seen some terrific producers
Mhm.
who make amazing dance music,
Okay.
which I have played, which I play in my sets. But when I've heard to their DJ sets, they've been awful, man.
How do these DJs get the mileage then? Somebody else's music, and they just play it and they get the maximum publicity and they become heroes. But
No, 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 no,
actually,
no, 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 no. I I I would beg to differ on that because DJing is an art form in itself. See now, for example, if you take an artist like Avicii,
okay,
he makes a certain style of music,
yes,
right? As a producer, he writes a certain type of songs. He has a style. Every artist has a style. Like Michael Jackson had a certain style, which
yes,
Quincy Jones developed. You had Bad, you had Beat It, but it was a Michael Jackson song the moment you heard it.
yes,
Even before it started, that particular kick, that snare,
yeah,
it was very Michael Jackson.
yes,
So every artist ends up making a signature style.
yes,
But when you're a DJ, you are compiling hits from different music producers
okay,
because the night needs to have a variety, right? Those days, people used to get into a nightclub at about 11 o'clock in the night and party till 6 in the morning. You're talking 7 hours of dance music.
So, do you remember Dominion Club? Back then,
Of
all.
course, I remember Dominion Club. I played there.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
think I've met you there a couple of times.
We
So
have.
there are a few people who actually start the night, and when they enter the dance floor, and when they stand in front of the dance floor, in front of the DJ, they do not stop dancing until the DJ stops the music.
Yeah. We're
Do
all young and raring to go, and we've got so much of energy in us.
but do we have such kind of people today?
I would not say yes to that because I think there is a paradigm shift in how people are looking at partying these days. Back then you didn't have mobile phones,
Yes,
you didn't have social media.
yes,
There was nothing to shoot or capture and constantly be putting it on your Instagram or whatever. People just had one job to do:
then how did people get to
come
know
out,
that
grab
there's
a
a
drink,
party
and get onto the dance
happening?
floor and dance.
How did people get to know that there's a party happening here, there's a after party happening here?
Oh, it was so organic. Can you believe that? And it worked. And how? So we had a network of friends. We had printed flyers that our friends would pass it on to people. So the cool crowd those days hung around Brigade Road, MG Road. I think those were the coolest areas to hang out at.
Yes,
Thanks to the Rex Theatre playing the latest Hollywood films. You had the Pizza Hut come in there, the KFC come in there. There's McDonald's as well, and I think
music world.
down the line, a coffee day opened up.
Yes,
Uh, of course, the music stores were there, right?
yeah, music world. Yeah, I think
Music.
that's where the war of
Yeah,
the DJs used to happen. The
Planet M
presence.
was there, Music World was there.
Yeah,
So the cool crowd hung out in those areas because they could do burgers and pizza, they could do coffee, they could shop for music, or they could watch films.
right,
So they were all there.
right,
And you stand there 2 3 days in advance and just hand out bills to everybody coming. Everybody knows where the party is.
right, right. Which was your first club that you performed?
I think my DJing career started off with Time and Again.
Okay,
6 months into DJing at Time and Again.
time and again, were you playing for the noon parties?
Oh yes, of course. I was
Okay,
playing both at noon and in the evenings.
and I remember there was also a discotheque called as Orion.
I played there too.
Okay,
I was not the resident, but I played there. I jammed up with my DJ friends.
okay,
Uh, or if sometimes I got booked to play an event there, I would play. But I would go and jam with them because we were a small community of DJs, you know.
Yes.
Uh, Akbar Sami was very instrumental in getting me to Time and Again.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
And that's how my DJing string started off. I was playing for on and off parties before that as well as a DJ. But this was my first residency.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
As in,
would be 93,
in a
94.
residency, what exactly is a DJ supposed to be doing, and what exactly were you doing back then? What is the difference?
So residency, being a resident DJ is like bonded labor. You're there. You have to report every day,
Okay.
right? You have to
You
make
have to play
sure
the same set of music every day, pretty much.
that's nobody tells you what to play, right? You're a DJ. You decide
Mm-hmm.
because tomorrow a new song might come out, right? You're going to include that in your set.
Yes.
So music, I mean, I was told to keep it groovy, make sure people are on the flow. Yeah. So
Which genre did you start your DJing with?
okay, really we were young, so pop music was obviously a staple diet, staple portion of the entire set. But then I was getting introduced to house music because, you know, Akbar from Bombay used to come and play some terrific house music, including Ivan from Bangalore. He was also playing some good records. When you keep listening to other artists, you know, okay, you know, do you like the sound? Do you like the sound? And then you start realizing, oh, this is called house music. This is called hip hop. This is R&B. You know,
And I remember for a certain time you were only playing trance music.
that was down the line when I think I had enough of commercial and pop music. I needed something more serious.
I still remember the tagline, psychedelic era. That was your
Yeah.
tagline.
I just called it the psychedelic era because maybe it was for me, but I wanted everybody else to understand that it's a psychedelic era. I am pushing psychedelic sound.
Okay.
But see, psychedelic is a state of mind. It's not a genre of music.
Yes.
Psychedelic trance. Psychedelic is anything which is playing with your mind, right? Which is it could be graphics, it could be anything. You know, it could be colors, neon colors, whatever. It's psychedelia. It's playing games with your mind. Trance is a state of mind.
Okay.
You could be in a trance even on anesthesia, yeah. You know, it's just a state of mind that you get. Pink Floyd was doing a lot of psychedelic rock. There
Okay.
was Dream Theater as well, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So something trancey,
Prodigy. Do you remember Prodigy?
of course.
Yeah. What a beautiful track it was.
Yeah, but I don't think they were psychedelic.
Weren't they?
They were more acid-driven, more grunge-ish, more
Because I was a
yeah,
kid back then when I used to see you play all these tracks.
a lot of acid, a lot of break beats, a lot of heavy grunge. They try to blend break beats with influences of rock, acid. So there was acid rock. This was more electronic acid rock. This was more electronic in terms of no real drummer, no real time drumming, but using proper sequencers and drum machines. It was more uh, to do with dance, uh, you know.
Is it really required for people to be doing a drug or be high on something to resist psychedelic music? Do you agree with that?
But drugs are illegal. So from the legality point of view, if you're caught with them, you're going to get arrested and you're going to be put in jail. Now, to each his own. Some people do manage to get drugs. You know, you always see it in the news that people have consumed drugs and they've ended up doing something or they have OD'd and died. So we are aware that there is drugs in the system, though legally not allowed. They find their way into people's
Do you think it
hands.
still exists? Is it still there?
I'm sure because we still get the news. There are drug busts happening, dealers getting arrested. So I'm sure it's there, yeah.
I think of late, looking at all the you know the articles on the newspaper, every second day there is a raid. There is something where and parties have getting busted, DJs getting arrested. So is it still happening?
Oh, I don't know, man. I subscribed to the newspapers almost, uh, 6 years ago?
Why? It looks like you've
It's
toned down a lot, as in you were not to be seen outside much. You're very choosy. Even when it comes to your gigs, you select your gigs. Why is that?
Yeah.
Is there a reason? Is it because your experience makes you take such decisions?
No, I think we all grow old, no, at some point. And when you've been there for so long and you've seen it all, I miss the vibe of the 90s and the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, or even till the late 2000s. The vibe was terrific. You had spaces which were designed for music. People invested in fairly good sound systems. Now, on a larger capacity, there are probably a lot of breweries where the thing is, and music is just in the background.
Okay.
You don't have a dance floor space.
Okay.
They're busy talking about their craft beers, how many flavors they have. That has become the quintessentialness of the night today.
So they're busy promoting the venue, not the music, not the theme.
Well, no, I mean, a brewery has to be promoted, right? People need to know.
Yeah.
But it's not a place for music. You're going there to have
Lounge around and chill.
crafted beers predominantly.
Yeah.
You get other alcohol also there, but a brewery is mainly if you are into beers, you like a good crafted beer, not a bottled beer, which is being brewed there, made there, and served to you right there.
How much were you paid for your first gig?
Wow.
Do you even remember?
I guess about 2,000 bucks.
2000 rupees.
Yeah.
This was in
It
the
was a lot of money
lot of money back then.
back then,
So
yeah.
this was early 90s or late 90s?
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say
Back then.
92, 93.
Okay. Back
And I
then.
used to play on tapes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had this little synthesizer which had two tape decks
Okay.
with a little mixer
Okay.
and keys, and I was seamlessly mixing two tapes and
Okay.
adding my own melodies to it with the synth.
Wow.
It was an integrated Casio synth, whatever you call it. It's a synth, come a play deck, a tape deck, all of that.
How did you manage to source your music back then? Because we had no social media to hear it first, and back then there was hardly any mobile phone usage. Internet was not there at all, if I'm not wrong. I'm talking about early 90s or late 90s. How did you manage?
So early 90s, I'll tell you, there was this Russian magazine called Misha.
Misha. Okay.
I think it was called Misha, if I'm not wrong. And it was a Russian magazine. Uh, and on their last but one page, they had this thing called the Pen Pal column,
Okay.
where you could write to people, and So there was times I used to ask, "What music do you listen
I think
to?"
even DJ Mag had this.
I was introduced to DJ Mag after I got into the scene.
Okay.
I heard it from. I think they were like what 4 or 5 DJs then, yeah,
Yes. And you were one of them.
or maybe 3 or 4 DJs that I
I
knew.
think it was DJ Bodge, Ivan, you,
Yeah,
Vachan,
there
Cletus.
Cletus was there. Then there was Vernon,
Oh yeah.
who was the front man of Millennium as well, the band. Vernon was there. Then there was Ashish Kothare and Sundar Parwani.
Okay.
Sundar Parwani was a big hit those days.
Okay.
So Ashish, Sundar, Vernon, Ivan, these guys were the people we looked up to when I started DJing. Ivan was already doing it before I
So
started.
Ivan is more senior than you.
Of course
Okay.
he is.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I heard a lot of good music played by Ivan as well. I got introduced to house music. So Akbar and Ivan, there used to be a company called Paranesis.
Okay.
They used to do a lot of these dance events, and they predominantly featured Akbar or Ivan or both of them on the same night.
Are you talking about Akbar Sami?
Yes, Akbar Sami.
Okay.
Yes. They were my go-to source for house music. I fell in love with house music because of those two guys.
Okay, I really
Yeah.
did not know that Akbar Sami also was playing house music. I thought he's the king
Akbar
of
was only playing
Bollywood.
house music.
Oh yeah?
Bollywood happened way, way later when the scene changed, you know.
Because I remember you and the other DJs back then, early 2000s. Bollywood used to be the last track that you guys were playing and ending the night.
No,
But it's not the same case now.
no, I would not play a single Bollywood track in my set.
And why is that? Any specific reason that you did not want to add a Bollywood track to your set?
No, it was not. We had a very clear demarcation of what a film song is, what clubbing music is. Bangalore was very international. I don't think you had a Bollywood bar in Bangalore till as early as Hussein started doing something at Zero G with Bollywood predominantly. I think
Yes.
before he moved to Zero G, he was trying this out at uh, a small but a very well visited pub on Church Street called the Night Watchman.
Oh, the Night Watchman, yes. Jerry, he used to be the resident DJ back then.
No, Hussein was the resident DJ.
No, I'm talking about the Night Watchman in early 2000. He used to be the resident DJ who met with an
No,
accident, unfortunately.
early 2000. So I'll tell you what, Hussein was the resident DJ before he moved to Zero G. And Hussein, I think, sampled a little bit of Bollywood music there. And then Zero G got known for it.
Yes.
Yeah. So until then, Bollywood had not become mainstream club sound in Bangalore. But like, yeah, all good things come to an end, or maybe you make space for new trends to set in. Uh, I
So
think
are you saying that Hussein was the DJ who actually brought in that change?
he did it. He did it very vocally, you know. He said, I am going to play Bollywood music.
By the way, he's a very simple guy, very sweet guy.
Of course he is.
I
I think
like
all
the
of us
DJ.
are.
Yeah.
We are nice to who we want to be nice to.
Oh, I like that.
We can't be nice to everybody.
Absolutely. Having said this, I would like to ask you, is there a moment or a night when you had the worst time when you were playing a gig?
I'm sure there were.
Anything that you want to recollect and you want to share
I
with?
don't know, probably a machine shut down, or the mixer didn't work, or the monitors went off, but nothing undue.
Back then,
Okay,
we had very limited resources.
okay, maybe a fight or something.
Yeah.
Somebody got cheesed off because I didn't play their song, and then they wanted to say, you know who I am, and some people get carried away more.
Was it there back then also?
I'm
That I'm
sure
so,
I don't really remember in which time and place this was, but this has happened.
okay. How do you handle that?
So when you're young, you don't know how to be diplomatic, right?
You give it back.
Your blood is what?
Yeah.
Warm, and you know you are waiting to give it back also. So yeah, it would lead to a fight or a quarrel, or you know, but then you end up realizing that the guy who was actually talking to you is way superior and mighty than you,
Yeah.
and then he puts you in your place,
Yeah.
and that's how you learn. And eventually you learn it's not about having a clout or not. You learn that you don't need to be a part of any argument. There is a nicer way of saying no.
Yes. And you are too good at that.
I wasn't. We were all young. We were not mature. We all had cockiness.
Okay.
I had seen too much fame too soon.
Really?
I was splashed across the papers almost every other day. I had half a page photos in Times of India. It goes into your head. I was on Channel V, I was on MTV.
Yes.
You know, it gets into your head.
Yes.
And
yes.
you're not going to talk to anybody straight faced.
What was your association with MTV or Channel V?
My
I
remixes,
think that was the time when they
just
launched.
my remixes, my gigs. You know, they Channel V used to do something called Club V.
Yes.
You know, that was about covering a club scene. Could be a Velocity in Bombay. You know, so yeah.
Okay.
I have played in Bombay quite a few times. I was in Bombay as well.
Have you lived in Bombay and
Yeah, I
have you
have
DJ'd in Bombay?
for a little bit. Just trying to break into Bollywood and stuff. You know, because I told you I started off as a musician. DJing after a while kind of got to me because so many started jumping to the bandwagon.
Okay.
And I wanted to go back to my first love of creating music.
Okay.
Even if it meant to be a remix, you're still creating it. You know, you take an existing song and then you add a new flavor to it. There's a lot of imagination that goes in.
Yes. By the way, your recent remix from Bandish Bandits, it's really amazing. I really love it.
Thank you.
What a beautiful combination of those two tracks that you've chosen.
Thank you.
I really hope that you release it. You complete the track and you release it.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I tried doing that, but I don't know. I've
Why
just
are
not.
you not able to make more music of late? Are you occupied with something else or
I am actually. I work on event IPs also. We have our Luru Diwali and then Luru Christmas and
and Luru
Luru
Holi?
Holi. Yeah. So I think Luru Holi is going to be canned because things are not falling in place with the venue that we have in mind. And Holi works on a slightly different format. You can't take an existing place and do it there because nobody wants their place trashed out, with colors and water and muck and all of that. It can get bad.
Yes.
You'll need a complete new paint job. The furniture might get affected. The floor might get affected. So yeah, it's
You mentioned about Luru Diwali and Luru Christmas. Could you please share your experience about hosting such beautiful events?
that was a very so Luru Diwali and Luru Holi and Luru Christmas. The idea was not to make them commercial events.
So, when you mean Luru, does it mean a short form
Bengaluru,
of Bengaluru?
yeah.
I think you're the first guy to actually keep it short. Yeah.
It was just the time when Bangalore was officially rechristened Bengaluru. We started Diwali 13 years ago. That's when I think Bangalore became Bengaluru. So it was being discussed. There was a certain font to it that was released,
Yes.
a logo, a font, and Bangalore became Bengaluru. And then I said, this Diwali is about the people of the city.
So, Luru concept was your idea.
Totally.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very
We
nice.
kind of pondered about it. We thought, does it have a ring to it? Does it sound good? People are going to wonder, what is Luru? I said, that's the whole idea. When Bangalore became Bengaluru, we lay that emphasis on Luru.
Yes.
And Luru is now a very cool idiom for Bangalore.
It is. There are
I
places
think I'm
and
going to take the
properties.
credit for this, buddy. I think
You should. You deserve this
I
credit.
did. Yeah, I should. Yeah. Now everybody calls it Luru.
Yes, pretty much. Most of them actually want to keep it short and they call it Luru. Even
People
me.
of Luru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's been 13 years that you've started Luru Diwali.
Yeah. Fabulous
Yeah,
evenings.
fantastic Luru, Diwali nights every year you host.
Yeah.
I really want you to share a little bit of experience with that. How did it all start? How is it now?
It started off as an idea. Why don't we make a celebration of festivals? So Diwali or Eid for that matter, or Holi for that matter, or Christmas for that matter, people go out and meet people. The
Yeah.
idea here was that to bring a good social set together. So at least everybody gets to meet everybody on a festive occasion.
Your events are almost sold out every year.
We don't sell it out. There is no tickets to it. We have a closed group of people. We want to keep it very private, of really close friends. The people that I've gotten to know over a period of so many years. I have another partner called Rafi.
Okay.
He's a very well-known event programmer, club programmer, event promoter in Bangalore.
Okay.
So we joined forces. We created this. There's a set of people that he knows. There's a set of people that I know, and we make sure that we create one space where everybody is beautifully dressed. The standards of the parties is so high, and the best part is it is not about how much you can pay at the gate or what category of ticket you can buy. There is absolutely no ticket.
Every year I see you do something different.
You
You've had
could be
Balisagu.
driving a Bentley or you could be driving a Maruti, but if you are our friend, we will give you the same importance at a Luru Diwali.
Nicely said.
Yeah.
I think you had invited Balisagu once to play for one of your
course.
Luru Diwalis.
Yeah.
I think last year at Mirage, it was Akbar Sami.
Yes.
It was a super duper hit.
Yes, it was.
How do you feel?
Uh,
As in, you make a lot of money, and also you feel that it's worth doing.
no,
this.
I don't do it for money at all.
Oh yeah.
I don't do this for money. I just make sure that we have a very well-produced event, and the sponsorships, whatever we make, kind of pays for all of that.
Okay.
I'm okay not taking even a buck back home here. As long as I got to see all of my friends in one place. You have the rest of the year to do parties and make money and, do this stuff. Yeah.
It's very nice. So there is no plans for you to be hosting Luru Holi this time for
I'm not finding an
2025.
apt place.
Okay.
And I think place is very important here. The
Yes.
venue where you host it needs to have the certain kind of ambience, needs to be accessible easily.
Which are the best places that you suggest in Bangalore are the best venues to be hosting a party?
Bangalore has some great venues, but from a party point of view, I don't think we have too much of a choice.
So, Anup, what are you up to these days? Are you just producing music or working on your gigs, or are you into something else?
No, mainly all these things. I consult with bars, clubs. A lot of them reach out to me to do sound design for their venues. I kind of understand what the requirement is. Get my friends in the business to, who
Grow?
I know do a great job of putting up sound. And I do that when there's a calling for that. I
Okay.
work on my IPs. Then I have my gigs that are splattered across. If I see a nice venue reaching out to me, where I know that the sound system is going to be great and it draws a good crowd.
I've seen that all your gigs, you've had the best people. It's not about the number of people in the party. It's about the quality of the people who are there.
Exactly.
Even if there are 20 people in your party, those will be the 20 best people of Bangalore.
Probably. I think I'm lucky that way.
You're very lucky that way.
I'm
I
just
think you've been maintaining those, what do I call, standards,
I
or
actually don't do anything.
yeah.
I don't do anything with an intent that I have to maintain my relationship with these people and not care about these people. Nothing like that.
Why do you think people come
I
for
think
you?
I think it's the energies. Energy has a way of attracting energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think people come for your style or for your music, or just because you have this habit of maintaining good PR with everybody? What is the secret?
Actually, I don't know. If you say I'm stylish, that's a very personal thing. I'm not even doing it to show it to anybody. It's just my comfort. I'm comfortable being a certain way.
Okay.
I'm not really stressing on that too.
Okay.
My PR, I don't know. I don't play very often. I'm not the person who will pick up a phone and call somebody and say, "Hey, how are you doing? It's been a while." I don't do that too because mostly I'm consumed with whatever I'm doing. I don't find time, and when I find time, I'd like to sit back, relax, and listen to some music or watch a flick or a show, or I forget to call people. So I don't know how my PR is great too. I wouldn't give myself any brownie points because I know I'm not making an effort there.
You're very active on social media, as much as I've seen.
I'm just memeing, stupid memes. I don't go out for coffee, so I can't say, "Oh, I'm at Starbucks here. This is my coffee mug with my name on it." No, I don't even do that.
Do you think people take it in the right way?
Take what in the right way?
All your memes and everything that you post is not the usual stuff. There
See,
is a meaning behind it.
Dilip, I'll tell you something. If you start doing everything from the point of view that how are people going to take it? Are they going to like it or not? Trust me, you will not be able to do 99 things out of 100 things. My intention is not to hurt anybody.
But you're very sarcastic.
Sarcasm is an art.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. It is. It is a type of humor. See, humor cannot always be Kapil Sharma jokes, no?
Yeah.
They are also lewd at times, by the way. The whole idea of making a man a woman and casting them like that, dude, there are so many women available, sporting women available. You could just use them. But they think when you turn a man into a woman, it's funny. I find it ridiculous. Is that your idea of a joke? Turn a man into a woman and maybe it will make somebody laugh, but it will not make an intellectual laugh.
Recently, I saw one of your posts on Facebook about the recent India's Got Latins. That scene, whatever happened with Ranveer.
Great
And
show.
yeah.
Great show.
And I also saw somebody commenting saying that how could you, being such a veteran artist who's well versed with music, and comment and support such kind of people?
I like it. I'm not going to lie about it, right? I like it. I enjoy it. I wait. I wait. It's on my subscription. So I wait for it.
Okay.
I watch it as immediately as it comes out because
And you reply. That's the best part.
I find Samay Raina so funny.
Okay.
He's got that. So I'm a humorous guy. I like to crack jokes. You meet me after a couple of drinks, and my table is always having a riot. Everybody on the table, we are having a riot. We're just laughing through and through. I think that is my idea about a night out. Unless there's a place that's playing great music, I'd rather choose to sit down with a few friends and have a laugh about night.
Like a house party types.
Could be
Yeah.
house, could be a social club.
A lot of people think that you are a DJ with a lot of attitude. Do you feel that way?
I
They're
don't.
scared to come and talk to you,
I
in
am
fact.
not a lot of people looking
Because
at
your
me from.
sarcasm, they feel that you're very sarcastic and they're very scared to approach you. This is what I've heard about from a lot of.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is what they feel. What do you feel about it?
I've gotten that before, Dilip. You're not the first person to tell it to me, but I think people are just painting an image of me in their minds without. So there are people, like I told you before. There are people who know me, and then there are people who just know me.
Yeah,
We are in the people's business, right?
yeah,
And we are famous. We get a little bit of fame, so people know you,
yeah.
but they don't really know you.
That was a good one.
They haven't hung out with you. They haven't sat across you at a table or had a drink with you, spoken to you. They've just assumed, oh, this guy wears shades in the night. What does he think of himself?
Yeah, that's. I think it was also in the newspapers
What?
sometime back. I remember reading this that this guy, this DJ, wearing shades in the night, he was caught drink and drive.
Oh no, that was nothing about the shades.
It was.
No, it was
It,
not.
it
No,
was.
that whole thing was a conspiracy planned to defame me. But we had the right people, authorities working into it.
Okay.
Their alcometers were not working.
Okay.
We had a proper press coverage of it.
Okay.
Uh,
Were you alone that night?
no, I was with my wife and her friend.
Were you drunk?
No, I wasn't. I went to that place after my dinner. And I went there. It was not even my plan to go out and party that night.
Okay.
My wife's friend happened to be partying close by home, and she said, "If you're doing nothing, come by."
Okay.
And I remember telling my wife that, "Dude, we're already done with dinner. We're just going to go and hang around there." Yeah. Now, for the name's sake, I had a small 30 ml drink
Okay.
because we come from the industry, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be a free monger in a place and you might as well get a small drink and.
Yes. And what's your scene with PPL? I think you had filed a complaint against PPL many years back. Is that true?
Yeah, it is because of the way it is being conducted, Dilip. I totally believe that copyright licenses is a very fair thing to do. You know,
But they charge a bomb.
uh, see,
Not just PPL. There is Novex, there's IPRS, there's one more
so
thing.
so hear me out. This is largely to do with music that's released in our country, right? It could be international music, which is licensed to be released in India, which is being protected by copyrights, and a certain Indian company owns those copyrights or has the permissions for India release and all of that stuff. And then comes Bollywood, which is driving India's music business technically. So what happens is when a film is being made, Indian films are about song and dance,
Yeah.
right? So a producer decides to make a film. He knows he needs songs for it. He's going to commission those to a music director. It could be Vishal and Shekhar, or it could be an A.R. Rahman, it could be Shankar Ehsaan Loy. Now, these people have a certain price. Some of them charge as much as a few crores to make
Yeah.
music for a film, 5, 6 songs, 7 songs. Then you have really, national level artists singing those songs who are internationally famous now, like a Sunidhi Chauhan or a Shreya Ghoshal or a Arijit Singh. Everybody has a rack rate. So this whole manufacturing or creating this soundtrack for this particular project, this film, it is a costly affair. A few crores, a few good crores get invested into the whole process. Now, The producer pays for the entire thing and it is the producer's property now. The producer is going to look at every angle of the film to be a revenue generator. So back in the days, we had physical sales of music. You got tapes, CDs, records. You would sell it. I think to manufacture a tape would cost about 7-8 rupees, but it would, or 15-20 rupees if you're using very good quality materials, including inlay, packaging, jewel case. But it would sell for $100 a tape. They are trying to generate revenue so it covers up, because at the end of the day, when the film releases, long after it releases, you know if it has worked or bombed. So at least there are other areas which generate revenue for you. In the case that your film is going to be a flop at box office, you're trying to get back certain amount of money that is invested.
So what is your strong message to all these agencies?
So what I'm trying to tell you here is, there is a copyright law which protects the producer or the record label, the Indian Copyright Act. If you are going to be using somebody's intellectual property, music is intellectual property owned by someone else, if you're going to use it to make or generate revenue for yourself from it, it is only fair that you pay the compensation to the original creators or the copyright holders. There is a licensing that you use. What I don't like is that there is no method to the madness here.
Okay.
There is no census being taken. How many songs from which label got played in the party? There is nobody from PPL's end, IPR's end standing there and saying, oh, he played Kanta Laga, he played Choli Ke Piche. Choli Ke Piche is with tips. Nobody is breaking it down like that. Okay, so four
No, but
songs.
they have a list. They give it to you when you challenge them. They give you a list
How can they give you a list of what
of the tracks that you're not supposed to be playing, and this is a part of so and so.
I am not talking about that. Can they give me a list of what I played?
No, I don't think so.
That is what I'm asking
Unless
you.
they record somebody from there and coming in and recording.
So you tell me, you played 55 songs from T series. You played 12 songs from YRF. You played 4 songs from Sony Music. So accordingly, we will send so much money to T series, so much to this, so much to that. That makes sense to me.
Which are the music companies which fall under PPL?
I have no idea.
And first of all, is PPL legal? Do you know?
Oh, well, it is out there in the open. I'm sure there is some legality to it.
Okay.
You can't just have something illegal happening in broad daylight, no?
Right. So what exactly happened? Did you file a police complaint against them, or did you raise your voice against PPL?
See, there was also a news. Back then when I did it, okay, I'm going to get into a little bit of confidentiality here.
Sure.
There was a certain somebody working with PPL in Bombay. Now, this person had not been given his salary for about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
He got cheesed off.
Okay.
He got a photocopy of a certain document, a registrar of company's document, which he leaked out to kind of bring some sort of a defamation or some sort of a problem to PPL as an organization. I'm not going to name this person.
Okay.
But that photocopy read very clearly that somebody from PPL had approached the registrar of companies for PPL to be recognized as a copyright society.
Okay.
Now, when you don't hear back from the sub-registrars, your application becomes null and void.
Okay.
And after 5 years, it becomes null and void.
Okay.
So until 5 years, they had not heard back from the sub-registrar of the companies. They had sent another request saying, we had not heard anything from you on our prior request to be recognized as a copyright society. We just want to update. It has been 5 years, so we consider that null and void. But we would like to now say that we do not wish to be recognized as a copyright society.
Okay.
So that was the document that got leaked.
Okay.
And based on that, on one hand, they are saying we do not wish to be recognized as copyright society. On the second hand, you're still taking money, claiming to be a copyright society.
Anoop, they charge a bomb for like 100 people. They charge about 28,000 rupees plus taxes for the license.
I don't know how that has worked out. I seriously, I
Yes.
don't know.
And I strongly feel that even the star properties are supporting them. I don't know what is their connection between, the PPL and other agencies with the star properties, but yes, I strongly feel that there is some involvement.
See,
They're supporting each other.
star properties are the best places for weddings and private functions. They have so many banquet halls. At least two or three or four of them they'll have in, depending upon the hotel. On a daily basis, they are booked out. In a city like Bangalore, there's something happening every day. Today, yeah, it could be a kid's birthday, but they are a affluent family. They want to do it in a grand way. They want to leave an impression, lasting impression. They'll probably take a Four Seasons and do an event and call all their friends. Some people are affluent. They can spend that kind of money.
I don't think so everybody can afford this, Anoop. Music is for everybody. I think everybody has the rights to celebrate
Yeah,
music.
but music is bound by a few copyright laws. You buy a tape, buy a CD, please listen to it at home as much as you want.
Okay.
Nobody's stopping you. You paid for that CD or record. And modern days, Spotify subscription or YouTube music subscription or iTunes, you're buying off iTunes, you're paying money. Play it at home, no problem. Nobody's stopping you. But the moment you become a DJ and start playing that music, you are making money for yourself.
This is only when this word called DJ comes into the picture.
Absolutely.
If there is no DJ, no copyright, no PPL or any other agency's license is required. Why is
It
this?
is understood that the DJ
Mm-hmm.
is going to charge a certain sum of money
Yeah,
by playing music that's not his.
yeah.
He's making money by playing something that's not his. It's only fair that he pays towards it. But that payment needs to be done in a fair way. There
Okay,
has to be a certain method to it.
okay, okay. And then what exactly happened? How did they get back to you? Did they come for a compromise, or is it still open?
No, I mean, I think it just died a
It
slow
was a
death.
big issue.
It was a big issue, but died a slow death. Nothing came out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did they reach you out asking you to withdraw your statement, or
Actually, I don't know. No, nobody reached out to me for that.
nobody didn't?
Nobody did.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right.
But I think there is a certain development in the recent times which I have been told that for private parties, you do not need to apply for a PPL anymore.
No, I think for any event, for any party, if you're playing Bollywood music, certain
No, for a
licenses
private
are
party, you
required.
don't need to because you're not generating revenue out of it.
Now, that way, if you see for a wedding, because in India, during weddings, we are bound to be playing certain tracks.
There is this Instagram reel doing the rounds. There's an advocate talking about it. Somebody sent that to me. I'll probably send it to you later when I
Kindly.
find it. I will. But yeah, I agree that, see, a private function is as good as you listening to it at your own house. You are not charging tickets to entertain people with that music. That music is just in the background to create a certain vibe for the party.
Right.
But you're not making money out of it. You're only giving that hotel business, F&B business, and whatever other services that you're taking from them. People are just coming and having a good time. Yes, I understand that when you make that an event where you're selling tickets, where the DJ that you're hiring to play that music is also charging you money. So there is money being made at the organization level,
Mm-hmm.
at the DJ's level.
Okay.
So why shouldn't the original creators and the record labels be paid money? I find that very fair.
But do you think all these original artists are they getting paid?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because you don't have a track which DJ is playing which track and how many times has it been played.
Yes.
And in that case, how is the credit going to be paid to the real artist?
Exactly.
I think there should be something done for this. It's kind of
See,
bullying, I feel.
see, it is very cumbersome. There are at least 100 plus hotels in the city.
Not just hotels. What these agencies do is they reach out to these corporates saying
No,
that we
no.
are
What
going to
I'm
be.
saying, what I'm telling you is, there are, for example, there are about 100 hotels in this city,
Mhm.
and say each of the hotel has 3 banquets on an average,
Okay.
and they are booked day in and day out.
Yes.
So we are looking at 300 plus events happening every day
Okay.
into 2 times:
And do you?
afternoon session, evening session.
Yeah.
From a manual point of view, if we have to station one guy in each of these parties who's taking down what songs are being played, you have to hire 600 people or 300 people who do two shifts,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
It is very cumbersome.
Yes.
This cannot be done. There, you have to find a better way of doing this, but this needs to be done. That's the way you can charge. There are a lot of people who play techno or progressive house, which is not even released here. And today, most artists are releasing independently. They're not even, with a record label. They're doing their own tune core or distrokid and they're putting their stuff out.
Right.
Who you can play their songs.
But why only Bollywood? Why not for other genres?
Bollywood is the biggest music platform in this country. It's not.
Just because of that.
It's not pop. It's not classical. Classical used to be at one point in time. I don't see too many young people doing classical.
Okay. No, I don't think so.
Bollywood is huge.
Right.
Every film has to have songs.
Do you also play for weddings?
I do.
Do?
Good ones, yes.
Okay. If I may ask you, how much do you charge for a wedding?
Depends. It depends. It really depends. I mean, I don't charge less,
Anywhere between 1 lakh to 2 lakhs?
more.
More than that?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So you must have made a lot of money in your career then.
Oh,
Because they say that you're an expensive DJ. You don't come for less.
everybody cannot afford an expensive DJ.
Yeah.
So the frequency is not that much. But I also choose not to play a lot of events.
Reason being budget?
Sometimes I actually give out a very crazy, whopping figure to sabotage the deal. It would be impolite to outright say, I don't want to play your gig.
Okay.
So I will demand something which you will not be able to.
Afford.
And you will say to yourself, no, I don't think we have that kind of budget.
You deliberately do
So
that.
I don't become the bad guy.
Or that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a diplomatic way of saying I don't want to do it.
Nice. So I think it's time for us to talk about the old Bangalore. A lot of people do not even know how Bangalore was back in early 90s and early 2000. And since that was the time that you evolved,
I
please
think
share your experience.
the city didn't have too many flyovers.
Okay.
It was not congested.
Yeah.
It was very easy to get about. And Bangalore was not so huge. You cross the old airport that we have on
Yeah.
the ahead of Leela HAL.
Yeah.
That was considered you've really come on the outskirts of the city. Now Marathali is the center of heart of the town. Marathi is not even considered outskirts anymore. Bangalore is wider beyond that.
Okay.
So that wasn't there. The city was still small, easy to get around. People, I think, had enough time to go home, unwind, relax, freshen up, and then come back for a party. And Bangalore was open till late.
Until what time?
Like a Taika would go on till 3:30, yeah, on Church
Wow.
Street.
Taika. Okay.
Club. So we
Yeah,
would
I
have.
think Taika, I remember Vachan used to play there on every Mondays, and Mondays used to be better than Saturdays.
No,
He had
no,
created
no,
that.
no. Mondays was a music-driven property. I think Vachan was pushing techno or electro or something like that. It was for a niche community of people. It had a vibe, yes.
Yeah, it did. It did.
But Saturday had its own vibe.
Okay.
Saturday was an open night.
No, but for a Monday,
Yeah.
it was too good. Houseful Mondays.
Vachan, I think, used to do drum and bass at FNB Hotel.
Or was it Bacchus?
On St. Mark's Road. Yeah, that Bacchus was in FNB Hotel. That was Thursdays.
Yeah, Thursdays. Yeah.
That did very well. So, see, that's the whole idea. These properties revolved around music. So, if you're a fan of that style of music, you'll show up.
I remember this one night on Tuesdays at Pebbles. I think
I used
Nash-
to do Sundays at Pebble for, I think, 3 years I did it. 2 or 3 years I did it. Then I started Thursdays at Pebble.
Okay.
Yeah.
What genre were you playing back then?
So Sundays I was doing a lot of experimental Bollywood.
Okay.
So I don't play the Bollywood songs the way they are to be played. I create my own edits, my own mixes.
Very exclusive.
At least it's different for people to listen to, no?
Yeah.
See, you can play
Do
choli.
people accept it? Because usually, as far as I know, the same music that they see on the television or they must have heard on some platforms is something that they would look forward for.
So
Not
there is an audience of every type. So there are those that want exactly the way they heard it on the TV or the radio or Spotify, you know. I have seen people walk up to me and say, bro, play the original, bro, don't play remixes and all. That is one thing. Then there are people who cannot expect a song like Ye Kahan Aa Gaye Hum from Silsila in a Afro melodic style. They're like, what? This is the same song? Wow. I recently I re-edited a song from this very famous movie called Pakiza.
okay.
यूं ही कोई मिल गया था चलते चलते, you know. It's got Madhubala in the.
What makes you or what inspires you to do such kind of music? These are very old. I don't think so. Not too many people know about those artists and the music.
The songs are evergreen. I think a certain age group of people still listen to those songs, like my mom would listen to it. And these have been the sounds of my childhood. No? They've played at home on the radio and everything. And I think, you know, if it can be wrapped in a different style,
Okay.
maybe this generation will get to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bitter pill. You put it in a rasgulla and feed it to someone. Chalo, rasgulla खा लिया साथ में दवाई भी खा लिया ना. Or at least they got that medication.
Right.
So you never know they like it. It's just packaging for a different time. Because that production, those sounds, now the sounds are more fatter. There's a certain, if you know that the 80s synth pop is coming back, the synth wave, what you had, Baltimora, that sound is coming back right now.
In short, how would you describe your journey?
Amazing. Full of
Amazing?
surprises.
Full of surprises.
Full of surprises.
Yeah. I mean, did you make a lot of money, and did you feel that it was worth giving your time and effort?
See, the whole thing about making money, it is quintessential, right? Everybody has to support their life. I mean, you could choose to become a clerk in a bank or an engineer or whatever, man. You're doing it to earn your livelihood.
Right.
But music and art, you make money only when your art is good enough that people can attach a monetary value to it. अभी मैं एक पेंटिंग बना के तुमको ऐसे फ्री में दे दूंगा, you'll take it. अच्छा अनूप ने बनाया दिया मेरे को, you'll take it. But the moment I make a painting and I say, buddy, I'll sell this to you for 20 lakhs, then it will make you think, does this piece really deserve this amount?
Oh, why should I?
I could pick up a Picasso. You know?
Yeah.
Then you will start weighing your options.
Yeah.
The moment you're giving art for free, they will take it. They will take it. They are willing to take it. But the moment you say, भाई मेरे को लाख रुपया चाहिए एक रात का, they'll say, वो बंदा 5,000 में भी तो बच जाता है.
Right. Anoop, what is your advice to the next generation DJs or the DJs who are now struggling to get a break? Is there something that you would like to give them as a tip?
Not really. The young kids, they're smart, they're born in technology. Technology is changing. They are doing things that I sometimes look at the machines and say, oh, this can be done on this too. So, you know, they are born in this era, right? We've had our times. We moved from tapes to vinyls to CDs to USBs, and now there's record box and various other softwares that you can play music out of.
What do you prefer?
Old school.
Old school?
Yeah.
No softwares?
I don't use a software.
You never?
I probably have changed the format of carrying music. I carry it in a flash drive.
Okay.
But I prefer my decks and a mixer.
Okay.
That's all you need. I see complicated setups.
The big
with the
graphs
RMX
and bars.
module, and you know that you're doing that for a crowd that's busy taking selfies.
Right.
Stupid.
Right. It is.
And a lot of them are just complicating their consoles to look cool.
I agree with this.
I think somewhere they think they are pilots in a Boeing cockpit and they feel very important when they see so many dials and gadgets just to look cool, you know. वो कुछ
Yeah.
कर नहीं रहे हैं. I see people with 4 decks.
Acha?
Yeah, I mean, their standard thing is we need 4 players and a mixer.
That's a part of their tech
Yeah,
rider.
but why do you need it?
Okay.
I have seen a lot of those artists who want 4 players do nothing with the other 2 players. And even on the other 2 players, they're playing terrible sets. पर ये नाटक है.
I've seen big DJs do not even have managers like you. I do not want to name the other DJs. Now every small DJ has a manager. What is this all about? Do they really need managers?
It's good. It's good to have a manager. See, you can't be great at everything. You know, you as an artist are good at performing your art or creating your art. If you're a producer as well, and as a DJ, we'll speak about this from the point of a DJ and a producer. You want to be left alone. तुमको वो दुनियादारी का फिक्र नहीं करना है कि वहां से पैसा आया कि नहीं, वहां से आया कि नहीं. Your mind has to be free to create. You could have an inspiration. You're not supposed to be bogged down by other responsibilities. It's okay to have maybe you're not good at PR.
Okay, that's when this idea.
Maybe you're good at your craft.
Okay.
But you're not confident to talk to people. Yeah, you know, or you don't want to talk to people. You're just an introvert. But there's another guy there who's outgoing, flamboyant, who will say, "Bhai, आप दिलीप को लो, वो आके फाड़ देगा party." He will convince people about you better than you can convince people about yourself.
Agreed with you.
That's where that manager plays a key role in getting you work and feeding off you. He'll take a 20% cut from you or 20, 25, whatever your agreement
I mean, you can't
is.
even reach out to the DJs, yaar, Anoop.
Sorry?
It's very difficult to talk to the DJs also. They will straight say, talk to my manager.
I-
And they're like less than 5 years, say maybe 3 years or 4 years in the industry. Is it some kind of a show off or is it really required?
No, see, it is important to have that. When you reach a certain caliber and you're getting bookings left, right, and center. See, everybody is the flavor of the season, okay? You're not going to be a star forever.
Yeah.
I've had my really high times. I was
Yes.
sought after. People postponed their birthday parties or preponed their birthday parties based on when I was available to play. मतलब तुम्हारा बर्थडे अगर कल है एंड इफ टुमारो आई एम नॉट अवेलेबल दिल से मैं अपना बर्थडे आज मना लेता हूं क्योंकि अनूप इज अवेलेबल टुडे.
Wow.
You know the kind of
Craze.
ego boost you get because of that? That people are turning things around for you so they can accommodate you.
Yeah.
That's a high.
Yes.
And if you do not control that, you can lose your way.
Right.
It makes you arrogant. It made me arrogant. But life is a leveler, no? You learn. I was 21 back then. Immature. You know, and I saw success too soon.
Is it been 30 years that you've been DJing now?
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years? Yeah. And if I may ask you, how long do you want to be DJing?
Once a DJ, always a DJ, no?
You mean forever?
Why not?
At least as long as you can.
If health permits, if the vibe permits, if the mood permits, only I can say a no, na?
Correct. Now, what if you become old? Because today,
What do you mean by what if you we have to become old?
Right,
I am
absolutely.
old.
Now, once we grow old, I don't think so. The clubs would prefer a DJ who is, in their 50, 55, 60 years. They prefer.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Really?
I personally interact with a lot of club owners. They say, okay, this DJ may be a
Have you seen
veteran
Nick
DJ.
Warren? Have you seen Carl Cox? Have you seen...
Anoop, that is in the West. I'm talking about the Indian scene here.
Everybody needs to start honing a sound. And that sound will sell them. If that sound is working, it will sell them.
But chances बहुत कम है.
No,
Very less.
Not really. Not really. You have to be at it. See, it's not all glamour. Everybody thinks DJing is so glamorous, you know. बंदे ने गुच्ची के चश्मे पहन लिए, स्टीव मैडन के जूते पहन लिए. भैया वो सब comes much later. That craft in you, Why am I making an official remix of Rang De Basanti sitting in Bangalore?
Okay, I forgot to ask you about
बॉम्बे
it.
में लोग कम है, अकबर जैसे बड़े बड़े डीजेस हैं वहां पे. Why does a guy from Bangalore get chosen to do that?
Yeah, that was, I think, something that you can never forget.
No, for the couple of things that happened, I worked for it also. I wanted to gain my foothold in doing something in Bollywood, but I was also very persistent with my sound. I was making demos, I was sending it left, right, and center. Just because I submitted a demo and it didn't work out for me, I didn't give up on it. बोला तो और एक ले भाई, ये भी सुन. Listen to this too. And somewhere they said, why don't you remix this?
Okay.
Rahman does not like his songs to be remixed at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Okay.
He's like, dude, if I wanted it to sound like that, wouldn't I make it like that? This is my song.
He wants it to keep it original.
At least that was what was communicated to me from the music company,
Okay.
who had the rights for Rang De Basanti, the film, the soundtrack, and that is Sony India, Sony Worldwide actually. उससे पहले, I think what they did is they made it a part of an international catalog, which Bobby Friction does for BBC Radio 1.
He still does it?
He is still a part of the Asian network,
Okay.
right? So Bobby is a very celebrated Asian RJ DJ from obviously from London, and he has these compilations that he does. Friction, he did one, and then he did two. On Friction 2, I got featured. Rang De Basanti was specially remixed for the overseas market actually.
Okay.
So I knew where the positioning is. It was supposed to be an Indian release also, but it was a worldwide release actually.
Yes, it was.
So that did very well. It rocked the charts for how many weeks in a row, Rang De Basanti, and Bobby was so proud of it. It's like, dude, this track stands out in the whole of the album. It had other grades also. It had Let the Music Play, and it had that's the time when everybody heard these songs, Shamur's Let the Music Play.
And one more, one of the best remixes that you've made, which I personally love, and I even now play it, is Saat Samandar Paar Mein Tere.
Wow. I made two of those. Which one are you talking about?
The first one.
This was how many years ago?
I remember.
I made one in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm talking about the same one. I still have it in my CD.
Oh, wow.
I was a resident DJ at one of the clubs where you walked in with a girl, and I saw you, and I played this track. You're telling that girl, this is my remix. I could see that happiness in your face.
It's always nice to have your tracks,
Yes.
listen to your own tracks played by other people.
You just
Somewhere it
pass
tells you, you've
by.
arrived a little bit to bloat that little ego.
Yeah, it was
Artists work for this.
Yeah, true.
MBAs work for money. We want little money, but we want a lot of this, It keeps that fire burning to create. Imagine you're constantly making music. You're probably making bad music. But हर creator के लिए उसका creation is like their baby.
Yes.
And they don't have the intellect to understand that they made a crappy bloody product.
Right.
They are still holding it close to their heart.
Right.
I'm not going to name, but there are lots of producers who brought music to me and they want my opinion on it.
Wow.
I tell them, dude, do you want me to lie to you or do you want me to be nice to you?
Okay.
They say, no, we want your honest opinion. But to tell you very frankly, people are not ready for an honest opinion. First of all, people should not ask for an opinion.
Well, why is that? What's wrong if I ask you something for a suggestion?
Because
or
you
for an
can't
opinion?
take the truth. You will think I'm putting you down. If it is not nice according to me, and when I say that to you the way it is, you will say, what does he think of himself? He just put my thing down. So I say, please don't ask me for my opinion and I will tell you no lies. I have developed a better way now.
I think they have.
मेरे को कोई भी कुछ भी कहता है मैं बोलता हूँ बहुत अच्छा है यार.
I think they have this fear that what if you give you a honest review? It's better to approach you first than you giving your honest review.
I don't want to give an opinion. When I put out my mixes, I never ask anybody, do you like it? I made this. I like it like this. I'm going to put it out. उसके साथ जो होता है, we'll leave it to chance, no? We'll leave it to time.
What if people don't like it?
It's okay.
It may be the best set.
Arey, it is okay. You go to have an Andhra meal. I love Andhra meals. I have a friend who cannot eat spice. He says, bro, I don't like that food. By him not liking the food doesn't become bad. I love it. Music, like food, is subjective. So if somebody says I don't like it, it's okay.
Because people mostly don't understand. That is the problem.
तो ठीक है ना तो ठीक है ना You're not going to shove something down somebody's throat, in this case ears, forcefully, no. अरे you eat what you want to eat. You want to have curd rice, you please eat curd rice, यार. तुमको पास्ता नहीं अच्छा लगता, तुम कर्ड राइस खाओ ना.
But won't that be a problem to you if the club says, hey, listen, the crowd did not like your music?
See, I am at that age now that I've been around for a while. And people know my sound.
Okay.
If I'm getting booked, they know that this is his sound, this is what he plays. There are so many times people book me and they want regular janta stuff. And I tell them, you don't have to pay me so much of money to do that. Little kids are doing a better job of playing that music. And I think they're not even charging so much money. Just take them. Oh, bro, उनके नाम पे crowd नहीं आता है. आपके नाम पे crowd आएगा. I said, but dude, I'm very, I have a certain music image.
Right.
My Bollywood is not straight up commercial. I am experimenting with disco, with synthwave, with progressive, melodic, techno. I'm doing all that stuff. It is not straight up Bollywood.
If people have to hear you online, where can they?
I am on Bandcamp. I am on YouTube. I'm on SoundCloud. I'm on Hear This. You just have to Google.
Okay. DJ Anoop Absolute.
Absolutely.
Very nice. I have a few questions for you, and after this, I think it's time to wind up because I have to let you go for you to go and watch the cricket match. And,
Absolutely.
Hopefully, India wins today.
It will.
I just have 5 questions for you.
Tell me.
Who is the best DJ according to you in India? None?
I don't think there's anything called a best DJ.
Any one. Please name one.
There are just good DJs and bad DJs.
The number one DJ.
There is nothing called number one.
Come on, Akbar is number one now.
Akbar is a really good DJ.
Okay.
I am not going to put a number to anyone.
Okay, that's interesting.
See, being good at your craft. What define number one? What is number one? Is it because of your musical merit?
No, it's because of the stardom that you have.
Uh,
People like you. Everybody knows you.
I know a lot of people who can't even DJ but have a lot of stardom. Way more than Akbar has.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is why Akbar plays at my parties, not those people. I don't want somebody with crazy stardom. I want somebody who's good at his job. Akbar is a legend. He is a showman. He is a star. Maybe there are other DJs today who are way more popular, have more Instagram followers, are getting booked more, but it doesn't matter to me. I've heard their sound. It doesn't work for me.
Okay, which is the best club in India?
I haven't seen so many clubs in the recent times. I've just stopped clubbing only. Okay. But I hear there is something really nice that opened up in Hyderabad.
Yes.
Hyderabad is really, I think, coming on par with international standards, which Bangalore used to be. They already had Prism. When Prism opened up, it made a lot of noise, no?
Yeah, was it the Asia's number one club?
I don't know that, but from what I saw, it looked great. And now they have an even bigger club. I think the biggest in Asia.
Okay.
Which is in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a time I was doing about 4 gigs or 5 gigs in Hyderabad every year.
Okay.
I haven't gone to Hyderabad in the last 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food, Anoop?
These days, anything that's healthy.
Anything that's healthy. Yeah. Name me one food.
I love food, man. I'm a vegetarian.
I know you love rasam.
I love rasam, I love pappu, I love my Rajasthani khana, I love Punjabi khana, I'm married to a Punjabi. So I love Punjabi food. I love your North Karnataka food as well.
You must be also loving ragi balls. I've seen that in some of your social media
I eat
posts.
ragi mudde, I eat Tamil sapat, I eat Goan food, I eat the Goan jacutis that they make, the vegetarian ones. I love it with rice. I just like food.
Okay. If there is one club that you've been craving to play, which club would that be? Anywhere in the world.
Great question. I really haven't thought of it.
You haven't thought of it?
Because that changes, I think, every year. Every year you see a new place opening up with a certain vibe to it. Then you've forgotten the previous place. So
Yeah.
there's a new one. And it's so difficult to remember names. I have played the length and breadth of this country, man, for a while. I've played in places, so many clubs. I forget the names of clubs in Bangalore now. There's so many clubs I've seen. And I don't club very often.
If you may have to choose house, techno, or Bollywood, which genre would be your favorite?
All.
Come on,
I am
Anoop.
I am very open musically.
Okay.
I'm very open. You know, music is decided by your frame of mind. मेरे को कभी कभी गजल सुनने का मन करता है. I listen to ghazals. Sometimes I want to listen to Hindustani classical. I listen to that. I listen to jazz. I listen to blues. I listen to house, progressive, techno, and sometimes I'm listening to Bollywood songs also. When you listen to see, you have to listen. See, music is music.
Yes.
Genre हमने बना दिया है.
Yeah.
There's a proper Bollywood song that can run on 100 BPM tempo, which you can call it reggae, reggaeton, hip hop, R&B, कुछ भी बोल सकते हो. Stop naming it. If it's pleasing to your ears, just listen to it. Sometimes I want to listen to pacey music. Sometimes I want to chill. Sometimes I don't want to listen to music at all.
Okay.
You know,
One message for your fans watching this. Fans, friends, anybody. आपके दिल से जो कुछ भी आप बोलना चाहते हैं, you can convey that.
keep supporting. Music scene should not die. Keep supporting music. I'm not saying support me, but go out to listen to music. You know, don't go out for other things. Ki, oh, lots of hot chicks here. We'll take a selfie. Nice photo op location. We can take some. No, go and listen to an artist. Because not most of them, but a few artists are actually sitting at home, doing a homework, putting a set together. That is actually going to blow your mind.
But यार वो लोग बिक नहीं रहे हैं यार. That is the problem. I personally know a lot of good DJs,
That is why
veteran
I'm
DJs.
saying
They're
now
not
go and
getting
listen to
gigs.
the
A
artists.
fancy guy comes in an Audi car with 2 chicks on the left side, 2 chicks on the right side. He's like booked like 4 days, 5 days in a week. And the good DJs are actually sitting at home. I think the club owners and the promoters should understand and value the artist's experience.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. ये तो I see. Ultimately, we are in the show biz, na. Glamour business में थोड़ा glamorous दिखाना पड़ता है. It's all marketing.
So, Anoop, before we wind up this session, I have 5 questions which I honestly expect you to be answering from your heart. Who is one DJ that you dislike?
Personally, musically,
Musically?
there are lots of them.
Anyone?
I'm not going to name
Come
them, but
on. It's
no.
okay. You can.
No, it doesn't matter. See, music, again, I told you, it's personal choice. If I don't enjoy the sets they play, and I don't think they are creating any magic in the clubs they are playing at, they're not doing a great job of it. And I don't dislike them, but I don't like them.
Okay. Personally, do you dislike anyone?
Oh, lots of them.
Do you want to name anyone?
No.
One.
No. Why are we making it controversial? Let's not do that.
All right.
Lots of them.
Which is the best club that you would want to be playing?
Something in Hyderabad, I think I heard of it.
Okay. Is it
Pretty-
Illusions?
What? Illusions?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was an Illusions in Bangkok. I don't know if it is the same club, but yeah, it looks nice and big.
The one that we're talking about apparently happens to be the largest in Asia, is what I've heard.
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
even sure if it's Illusions, but I know for a fact that there is one club which is the biggest in
No,
Asia.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I just want to play at any good club, which is a great sound system, beautiful acoustics. Like you feel the music when you play, and people who just come there for the music.
Great. Do you ever want to be playing in a club or a pub in Kormangla?
Yeah, if they make a good one,
Yeah.
why not?
You've been giving multiple names to the locality Kormangla in your own ways, in your own style.
I don't know, man. It's so chaotic to be there.
Oh, why?
It is chaos.
Okay.
Vehicles can't pass through. You can't walk freely.
Okay.
Like every other building is a bar, which is great. But we don't need so many of them. We need few good ones.
Okay.
You can't, like, some of these bars are not even tasteful.
Mm-hmm.
They have really bad sound systems and they're playing onto the road. It's chaos.
Okay. One best moment that you would like to cherish.
Wow. I wish I knew you would ask me this. I would have prepared for it because I think I've had so many good moments in the whole career.
Maybe your marriage or anything. Just one answer.
Oh, that way. Nothing musically, everything.
In general.
Oh, dude, then all those milestones, I was 20, I was having great milestones, Newspapers are writing about me every day. That's a high. You buy your first car, that's a high. You are traveling the world, you know, all over the place, taking your music, that's a high. Fans are rushing to you, they want a picture with you, they want an autograph of yours, that's a high. There was a first time when every time there was a first time when all of these things happened.
Great.
They still happen.
Talk about one fan moment that you've enjoyed the most.
Might sound very controversial, but I think there was this party in Goa that I was playing at. There was a girl in her bikini dancing right in front of me, and she took it off and asked me to sign her chest.
Okay. Wow.
I mean,
I've never heard
I was
anything like
really
this.
young and I was zapped. I was like, oh, these things, I've only heard of these things. This is happening right now.
When was
This
this?
was a long time ago.
Long time
That
ago?
was a long time ago. I think 2000, 2001,
Okay.
or maybe even late 90s, 99, or I don't know. One of, yeah.
Any message to the club owners in Bangalore? You work with most of them, but is there a certain thing that you
I don't know, man.
specifically want to?
I just want to tell everybody who are in the business. Firstly, be in the business for the right spirit of the business. You have to really know clubbing and the nightlife lifestyle to own this business, not because it's another alternative for you to invest in and make some money. And secondly, when you're hiring artists and everybody, pay them on time, pay them properly, don't negotiate with them, because your margins are really, really good. The margins are great. I mean, I go to bars where a large drink costs me about 3,500 rupees. You pay another thousand more, you get that bottle.
I get that. One thing that you regret in life?
No regrets.
Absolutely none.
Zero.
Not even one.
It has happened. Can't do anything about it. Why regret? Look ahead, no?
Okay. Uh, One message that you would like to give it to our audience.
Uh, Go out, listen to music and party.
Listen to Anoop Absolute.
Everybody. But listen. Don't take selfies. Don't take your phone on the dance floor. Listen. Go with an open mind, open ears. Because there is music that the average citizen does not know exists because they don't have the time to research. We're doing all that job for you and we're bringing you some really nice chunk of music that's out there, which otherwise you will not know exists. You know, okay, your vibe is Bollywood, but that's playing everywhere. Go out, listen to something new. You feel fresh. You never know what you might become a fan of or who you might become a fan of.
Okay.
Yeah.
One message to the viewers of Deeper Self Media's Chasing Stories Unscripted. What would you like to tell them?
Keep watching your show, subscribe to your channel. Uh, I think you're going to bring in a lot more people who will have so many different things to tell about their life and experiences, and I'd probably watch it too. Maybe I can learn a few things.
Thank you. It was really amazing talking to you today. And once again, thank you very much for coming in here and spending about close to 2 hours for this beautiful podcast. I really enjoyed it. I don't know about you. Maybe once after you watch I'm sure that you also will like it.
I think so too.
One last question. What is your advice, suggestion, or anything that you want to give it to me?
In
I'm your junior in DJing.
Okay, in DJing, no man, just follow your heart, keep that passion alive. If you believe in a sound, believe in it. Doesn't matter if people like it or not, work at it. See how you can package it well, keep it entertaining. I'm sure nobody chooses really bad music to play to people, right? So eventually, out of all your tracks, at least 20 tracks will be great.
Yeah.
Music is so personal, but people could boo you, people could, I think you should just not worry about it.
Okay, fantastic. Lovely talking to you, DJ Anoop Absolute. Thank you,
Pleasure,
viewers,
Philip.
for watching Chasing Stories Unscripted. And we will be back with another celebrity in the next episode. Until then, watch this, enjoy, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anoop.
Thank you.